Hello and welcome to 2025's very first Strolling with, it was called the Orchids, but let's just call it Strolling with the Plants. I'm going to show you all of the plants in my collection today, so it might be a little long, and excuse the naturale, but just didn't feel like getting my face together. Thought I'd let you guys see what I really look like. Get your beverage, get your snack, get a meal, and let's get started. Basically, we are starting in the, I would call it the extra bedroom. My son is currently in here. He didn't make his bed this morning, but it is what it is. He is getting ready to move to Minnesota, so that's what some of this is. But let's go start over here on these lovelies. So this is the, I'm going to say this is the Thanksgiving cactus. This is the one that had the white blooms on it. That is moved back in here because I'm going to show you the Christmas cactus here in a little bit. This is my 50-plus-year-old Sansevieria that I got from my husband's aunt probably about 2 years ago. And she has lost some of the original, the ones with the darker what is that, venation on the, or variegation on the outside. She's got lots of new growth down in there that I'm very, very pleased with. And then this shelf I moved in here for Christmas time because, you know, with the tree. And I really like it in here, so I'm probably going to leave it in here. Haven't 100% made my mind up. But look at Sherry Baby. Oh my goodness, look how gorgeous she is. I did add some moss. Ooh, sorry, I almost fell. I did add some moss down here because a lot of these roots off of this growth and the other growth right back here, there it is, right back in here, we're producing a lot of roots that weren't going, excuse me, down into the media. So to encourage the roots to go down, that's why that is there. But she is an all leca. And again, thank you, Nina from Ninja's Orchids. She actually sent me this specifically for the Sherry Baby. I had seen it on her channel, and oh my gosh, I love this thing. Love it. I think this spring, going to kind of reposition her. She does need a cleanup. There's some roots that are trying to crawl out of the pot, and I just noticed we have a new growth right there. That is lovely. Now she's not bloomed again for me. She didn't bloom in 2024. She did bloom in 23. So perhaps she might bloom for us. And she has actually been in this setup since 2020. So she's due for a repot. She's been sitting in there for 4 years. It's time to move her around. And then let us go up to the top. Just finagle my stool a little bit. So this one, okay. That is the Miltasia that I got for a surprise birthday gift in 22. And I believe, yes, she has, I'm trying to keep these leaves out of the way and finagle the camera at the same time, but she has that new growth coming there. And that is actually off of this older growth right here that she has produced the latest growth with, so I'm expecting a new growth off of that one too, so she'll end up with 2 directions of growth. Loving that. My Dendrobium Latoria type, I think it's a Latoria type. Is it? In any event, guys, this is Snowflake, and as you can see, we've got buds a-coming, so she should be in full bloom next time we look at her, as well as we have some new growths coming. And once the blooms go over, I'll need to repot her. She is kind of getting tight in that pot. I moved the pulchra in here. Now this one is still, she's in a moss and bark mixture, and you can see all the beautiful roots coming there. And her 2 spikes that she had, they're still there. Let's see if I can't really finagle it too well. I'll have to get on the chair next time and show you. They're growing slowly, but I love the fact that it's growing leaves with new roots. Why can't I ever say roots after I say growth? Anywho, I'm wanting more roots and foliage, and then when she blooms, she can do it. This one is the one that I got from Ken over at Orchid Supply Store. Back in, I never put the date on here, did I? Yeah, in 22, in September of 22, and it is the Silver Ring crossed with Nadia. Never bloomed for me yet, has put out quite the growth. And while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to go over to orchidsupplystore.com. Get your 12% viewers discount using TRISH at checkout on anything, 1 item or 100 items. And then this one is my Chin, how do you say it? Let's see, Chinzen Diamond. This used to be a very reliable bloomer for me. And something happened with her. The mealybugs never got her. Let me knock on wood real quick. I don't know what happened, but she's coming back into her own. As you can see, her leaves are starting to come. She's got lots of active root tips. So fingers crossed she blooms for us in 25. This one here, I don't have a tag on it. I don't remember what it is, but I believe it is one of our ICPU, Intensive Care Plant Unit orchids. However, if you can see, she's got, yep, this is one of our intensive care. And she's got a new root there. She did do these 2 leaves, and if I can get it to focus, there we go. We have a nice new leaf coming there. This one is my Queen's Bear. Again, doing fabulous. Nothing to report really on her. And then my Miltonia. Yes, Miltonia spectabilis. I think I found the place where she's happy. I think I found it, because if I can keep her moisturized now to help this concertining, I think she'll be fine. She's really done really well since she's been sitting here the last few weeks. And for this top shelf, what I did is I went on Amazon and bought like the little 4 light thing. And as you can see that one hanging, I have a string across there because it keeps wanting to fall off. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep that one up there. But that's what I did for this, because this is kind of a darker room in the winter time. In the summer, it's pretty bright. Now, second shelf, I have the Wilsonera Martin Leatherberrylicious that I've had since 2019. And it has fully absorbed this old bulb, but we do have this new growth continue to come out. I did repot my Nodosa crossed with Small World recently. No, I didn't repot this one. It needs to be repotted because she's growing out of the pot. This is one of the ICPU orchids that we'll talk about in another video, so we'll skip over that. The Roy Taganaga that I think this is the one, yes, this is the one that I purchased back in 22. So I recently, get the tag again. Oh, I didn't write the date, but I did this in November. So in November of 24, I did repot the Roy Taganaga in a larger pot. And then this is a piece of my Jacqueline, the only thing that's left, but she is growing roots. There they are. Let's see if I can turn it around and show you guys real quick. But she does have some lovely roots growing. She's in a pon and leca mixture, so hopefully she recovers. Let me turn her again because I don't want her directly under the light. There we go. This is also another plant that we'll talk about in a different video. I have my Jane Austen here. And I'm sorry, I thought I saw a friend. I did not. So she is senescing one of her older leaves. Not a big deal. Her growths were coming in, as you can see, with some deficiency, probably magnesium. But her latest growths are coming in nice, green, and clean. Well, minus that little spot there. So I think she'll be okay. Then the Dendrobium spectabile, I did also repot into a larger container. I took some of the older growth that was growing kind of wanky out, and we have that new growth right there coming, and then that 2-leaf piece right there was a separate piece that had kind of branched off, and so it's in there by itself. This is my Spring Pleasure. It used to be in a really big square pot, filling it up, and I put the pieces in here. I think we did a video on it. But it is still surviving. I did see some new roots coming in, so that's lovely. And then we have the pink doll, which, as you can see from the tag, I've had for 3 years, January of 2021. And this was its latest growth. And we have this growth here coming up nice and strong. Oh, not that one. Hold on. Hold on, I know, oh, there it is. New growth coming up nice and strong. Like, I know I saw new growth in there. Down here, I think my Horus Maxima crossed with Pontonera Dick Smith. I think it's a goner. It has attempted to grow new growth several times, roots. It's just not, it's not surviving. I think I'm gonna have to just let that one go. These 3 back here are all going to be talked about in a different video. And then my Maxima. Let me move this one out of the way real quick. Look at Maxima. Now this one I got back in July of 21. July of 21? Yes, in July of 21. It was a gift from Yoshi at Orchids by the Lake when I purchased the Schillerianas. And at the time, it was a rather small plant, but I've recently up-potted it into a bigger pot. There are about 4 pieces in there by the time I got done separating. The last time I repotted this and put it in a clay pot, I didn't do anything with the roots. I just put it all in there together. This go around, I cleaned up the roots real good, and everybody had new growth, new roots coming, so it should be fine. And then this one that we just moved is my, I think it's a Braccinia or Bractinia. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you guys. Let's see. Oh, maybe it won't work that way. We'll just grab the tag then. But there we go. As you can see, I've had this one since April of 23. It is January of 25. But it was in a pot with a bunch of holes. It was, roots were going everywhere. I took it out yesterday, actually, so January of 24. Repotted it back into basically the same pot, just a clean one. And then I did add moss to the mix. I just reused the media that it had because there were no friends ever on this one, as well as the bark was still very, very firm. Then I have zoom my Allocation Mickey Mouse that when I put it in here was in a bag trying to recover. I think from the size of the roots, I think it is recovered. It grew this one totally in 100% humidity. And then as this one was growing in, I would open the bag for a few hours every day and then eventually just left the bag open but up. So this one grew that way. And then I gradually started taking it out of the bag for a few hours every day. And so far, fingers crossed, it has been okay in here. And then the Mai Kai, I did combine the 2 that I had together. So there are 2 plants in here, and there is lots of new growth going on in there and lots of roots as well. And my Dewy Forest Kudos that I've had since 2019, well, it has a growth, and then I do see a new growth coming right here. Hopefully that will do something. And then my back bulb of my Purpurata Carina. Well, this was the first growth it gave. Now we have a second growth, and as you can see, we have some aerial roots, and there are roots going down into the pot. Up here, we have my 2 Phalaenopsis. This is a Pink Lady, no ID. They're just working on leaves and roots. And Second Love, look how much it's filling in. Again, I got this one from Yoshi at Orchids by the Lake. I cannot remember the year, but hasn't bloomed for me yet, but I'm loving that it's starting to actually grow and fill out. Up here I have a Philodendron Brazil, and I absolutely love this lime venation. Look at that. Oh, just gorgeous. Love the pot it's in. When I repot it, it's still in its original pot. when I do end up repotting, I'm going to put it back in this pot because I really like this pot. Up here I have a piece of the Hoya gracilis, and then I've got the Hoya linearis and Hoya Chelsea. Yes, Hoya Chelsea, Carnosa Chelsea, and then the Australias, Hoya Australias, and this one I am loving what it's doing. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, which is start wrapping around this hoop. And this one here, I put a stake like this one that you see back here, and now the top has reached the hoop, and I've started moving the vine, which this is the vine that goes to this, around it. Oh, I'm loving the way that's filling in, just love it. And then my Hoya Crimson Queen, again, I don't know if you can see this, but look at this leaf. Oh my goodness, I'm just loving this. And I'm waiting for this side to fill in. I have some leaves getting ready to come up where those butterfly clips are. This is the Croniana. I believe it's the Eskimo, but I used to let these two hang, but then I was like, oh, I want to put it up because the ends kept getting caught. So now it's climbing up the vine. I recently put it on a vine, on the little half hoop, whatever it is. I want to say maybe a week ago, not too long ago. It's just recently gotten that. Phalaenopsis soft clouds. She is a resident. I have to watch her. She keeps the mealies on her. And then this is the other part of the gracilis. I love this thing. It's so pretty, so pretty. And then I have the Australias Lisa right here. Again, trying to do the same thing to have it grow up so I can hook it onto here. And then this one here, I kind of attached the growth here. So eventually, I'm hoping it will look like my regular Australis. We have Phalaenopsis Mewtwo King here that had some blooms on it, and let me just zoom in because I think, yes. All right, I will have to treat this one, so let me check under the leaf, make sure I didn't touch anything. No, okay. Down here I have the Alocasia. I believe this is dragon scale. I know it's one of the dragons. I just cannot remember for the life of me which one. But there's actually two in there. Again, this is in Pawn and Leca, mainly Pawn though, but she also has quite the roots. And this is another Croniana that was sold also as an Eskimo. And it's starting to get some of the speckling on there, so maybe it was just a really young plant or cutting. Either way, I like it. And as the vines get longer, I'm just staking them in the top. Again, just to make a nice full top so I don't have a bunch of plant hanging out with nothing on top. I don't like the way that looks. My pulchra, oh my goodness, look at this. And no, this is not a pulchra. Publicalyx, haha. I've got the foul on my hands. But all of these darker leaves that you see are new growths. And recently I put this trellis stake in the glass. Again, it's in Pawn, and just kind of looped this vine, which is now growing. So eventually I'll have to bring it back down, and then the leaves hopefully will fill in. And down here I have my hibiscus, my hibiki. That is doing, look at all this growth. Look at all this growth. She did bloom in 23. She gave me 3 blooms. So Nina, if you watch this, tell me how I get this lady to bloom. Tell me why. I don't know what this is, but I know it's a zebra something, but I really like the way this one looks. And then, guys, look at my Summer Glory, Philodendron Summer Glory. This is a crawler. So this was the latest leaf she produced. And as you can see right behind it, she has another one there. Now there's technically 3 plants in here. I've got one that's going to the left, got one that's going to the right. And as you can see, look at the leaves when they first come in. Look how beautiful. That bronzy orange, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm obsessed with this plant, guys. And then I have a little smaller piece kind of in the middle that came off of this one here. And as you can see, oh my goodness, I love that. I think that's so pretty, so very pretty. Now she won't be able to stay right here very long. This is kind of in a main walk area. But again, this was the plant stand I had in front of the window, but moved over here for Christmas, and I kind of like it here. So probably going to leave this one here. I have Hoya Bella currently just hanging here. She normally hangs from the ceiling, but she's kind of in the way of the tree, so had to move her over here for a little bit. And then I have this, oh, what is this? Is this a mantra? I'm probably saying it wrong. But again, I bought this for the pot. This was a very sick looking plant. As you can kind of see from these back here, I did take off most of the damaged ones. But she is now coming to her own, just consistently putting out new leaf after new leaf. So I did repot her into some aeroid mix. And since I did that, that's when she really started taking off. There's about 5 stems in there, I believe, when I put it back in. 3 or 5, something like that. My Hoya Wyetii, I do have this vine clipped onto the string for right now until I can get Hoya back on the ceiling, move this over and let this kind of do her thing. But for now, I have her clipped here to keep her from growing into this pot because that's what she was trying to do. Over here, back here I've got my Crinkle 8 that I thought I lost, and it is coming back. You can see all of the lovely new leaf growth. And then this one I'm not even going to pronounce. There we are. I got this one from the Denver Orchid Show back in 23. And it grew this growth for me last year. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can get it around here. Can you kind of see the pink in that? Oh my goodness. I love this plant. I know I said that about all of them, but look at this one. Oh. So this is a papillium crossed with forgetti. And when I got it, it came with, let me just take it out. I'm going to show you the roots on this girl too. So it came with the leaf at the bottom, the leaf there, and then let's see, which way does it go? Oh, this one was the one that was growing when I got it, and it was damaged from shipping that way, but then it grew this one. I was like, oh, that's nice. But then look at the size of this one. Let me show you the roots real quick before I put her back in. Look at those roots. Oh my goodness. But look at this leaf. Look at the shiny. Look at it. And now this is a velvet leaf one. Oh. And the tight sinus of the forgetti right here. Oh my goodness. I love this plant. I know I'm saying that about all of them, but I genuinely love all of my plants. Some probably a little more than others, but I genuinely love them all. And there's something wrong with the lights over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to check the lighting over here. I just realized these lights are off. I may have unplugged it. However, this is one of my rescue plants. A little tree thing here. It is this. And it seems to be doing okay, so I'm just kind of playing with it. This is another Mickey Mouse. I actually got a replacement, and well, it didn't do too well, so I'm thinking I may need to take and do that corm the same way I did the one that's in the bedroom. And I did repot my little African violet into a bigger pot. It was in a 3-inch pot, and I think this is a 5-inch. But there are several plants in here, and I chose not to separate them because I really like the way this looks. Look at these blooms. Look how gorgeous. And I love that when you get back here, this particular plant sported. So this is how they're supposed to look. And then on this one, all of these blooms come a little with more white and just a hint of pink. So it's almost like having several different plants all at one time. Love that. Down here, I have a Hoya. I don't know what kind it is. I bought the pot that this is in for the pot, and it is trying to recover. It did grow this leaf for me, so I just leave it down here. And there's another princess that will eventually go in with the current princess. Not princess, the queen. The queen wears the crown, the princess wears the gown. So if it's on the outside, it's a queen. If the variegation is on the inside, it's the princess. This is my Alocasia bambino that was struggling for a little bit. And then once I put it into a more airy mix, look at all the roots down there. It has grown several leaves over the last few months, and I'm loving that. Again, loving that center variegation. Love that. Again, I know I'm saying I love everything, but oh, y'all, I genuinely love all of these guys, except maybe this one. This one is an interesting one. It's the zigzag plant, but I don't know if I love this one. Does that make sense? Like, I like it enough to keep it, but I don't know if I love it. I do have the humidifier down here because I do have quite the philodendron behind me that kind of need extra humidity, plus it's for, you know, everyone over here. Up here I have, I believe, yes, this one is the Marasaki. Recently had to repot it. It does have that new growth right here, and there's another growth coming here. Just your basic ivy, and then that's the flamingo plant, which is in the philodendron family. I just don't know the technical term. Madrokinia, which again, I've had it so long I don't want to get rid of it, but I'm not in love with that one. Not in love with that one. My variegated African violet, not sure what I'm feeling about that one. And then my I Love Berlin cup that Sarai brought back when she went to Germany here a few months ago. And these are, I call this my orchid graveyard, but now it's my plant graveyard. As you can see, I've lost an Alocasia malo. And all of these plant tags are representation of plants that I have lost. Not all of them since I started. I think I started it in 2020. So I don't think that's a bad sign too much. Not sure what this plant is. I did get it from my daughter. She's got one and it's huge, but kind of like the way it grows. Kind of has that agave look to it. And then this one is my Sensor Blue that really got attacked, and I'm trying to save it. So here we are. I might lose that one and have to replace it. And then here I have velvet. Excuse the mess back there, but I have velvet that really needs a refresh. But I'm waiting for either active root tips or a new leaf because I missed my window of opportunity last time. And guys, look. La, 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 la. Look how gorgeous. So this is my Christmas cactus. And I realize the flowers are a little different than the white ones. Oh, I'm in the process of washing everything and reorganizing my closet. So just be aware. Just be aware. And if you get the Orchid Supply Orchiata, this is the bag it comes in, and it is Ziploc, so you can reseal it. And as you can see, I am in desperate need of more. I'll be putting an order in here shortly, but look at this. Oh, I love this plant. I love both of them, but I really, really love the red better because I think you can just see the details in the flowers so much more than you can in the white. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, just gorgeous. Gorgeous. This one I got, this is the Philodendron lupinum. I ordered a kind of like a pack of fills for one, and this one came with it, and don't know how I feel about it. It looks a lot like the Hartley philodendron to me, but time will tell. Time will tell. It is putting out some growth, and so, well, we'll see. And for getting this out of the way for the tree, this is the Dendrobium. Oh my gosh, Royal Chip. Any other time I would remember the name of this. Royal Chip, again, lots and lots of growths. I do see buds, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, at some point this will blow up. This one is another Jacqueline that I got from Costa Farms, and it came with 3 leaves. It was pretty damaged. It did grow this leaf here, and it did grow one other leaf, but that leaf died off. So right now, this is what I'm left with. And this one is in aeroid mix with just the leca balls on top to kind of hold in the moisture. This is my varicosum that I got on discount. There's about two or three plants in here. But the first couple of leaves, as you can see, were not anything to write home about. But the last few, oh, look at that deepness. Look at that. Look at the contrasting on that. Oh, just love it. Look at that. Oh, and then this is the latest. Look at that. I love these. That's one of the original. Oh my. And then someone sent me some birds of paradise. And like I said, I have 3 pots of this because there were 4. I put 2 in a pot for myself to keep, and then 2 in individual pots. One is going to go to our office, and then the other one is going to go to a friend of mine. But look at the leaf already. This is the first leaf it grew for me, and now this one. This is one of the ones that's either going to the office or a friend. Haven't decided yet. And then this one, I believe, is an herbescens. If you are a philodendron gal or guy, and you know more than I do, which I'm sure you do, because I'm just now relearning these, let me know in the comments below. But again, I got this one because I like the plant, but 2, I really wanted the pot. And this one is actually in a self-watering pot, and so I don't worry about it that much. Excuse me. I did put this little bamboo trellis thing back here just because I had read that they want something to crawl up on, but I'm pretty sure that it's a moss pole that they want. I just don't want to put this one on a moss pole quite yet. And then this is my silver dragon that, again, I got from Costa Farms along with my Jacqueline. And look, it has a fluorescence. Look at that. I wanted to show you guys this, but I am going to cut this off after I get done filming. I'm hoping this is a leaf, but I do know that a fluorescence does take a lot of energy out of a plant. So I wanted to show you guys this first, and then I'm going to cut it off. This Ansonii I got in my little pack, and I do have finally some new growth right there, so that's exciting. Look at this. I have not repotted this one, but this is a, oh my God, what is it called? Hold on, I think it's on the outside. The Stingray, Alocasia Stingray. And I'm sure you can tell why it's called Stingray. But this is the latest one that it grew for me, and where is it? This one was so pretty, but of course someone broke it when she put it in the bag. But we do have this new growth coming up. And then my Anzalani, Alocasia Anzalani. I love how it has that pink. I don't know if the pink's showing up or not, but the pink Venetian. Oh, loving that. Oh, this one looks real good. Look how pink that is. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And this one is just making leaf after leaf. It just got done, and now it's working on this other one. There are actually 2 in here. Once I repotted it, there were 2 plants. And then my lime fiddle, or fiddle lime fiddle, I said it right the first time. I think I know what happens. So, oh, sorry about that. This was the leaf it grew, and I was so excited because it's a normal looking leaf compared to what it grew before. But this was the leaf it grew afterward. And as you can see, it's very similar to the small one, aside from it's a lot larger. This one, if you don't give it enough water while it is growing the new leaf, you get a half leaf. So that is what I am predicting. So this one I'm making sure so I can see how this leaf comes out. And then this one was a freebie from that 5-pack that I got. Now they labeled it Philodendron Lil, but I think this is one of those sweet potato plants. Philodendron, it's got some weird name. It's like really viney and you can cut it back. Right now I'm just kind of growing it in water because I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it. I know that's horrible. Horrible, I tell you, horrible. But let me show you my obsession. My Alocasia Frydek. So this one I got as a baby. It did kind of be on the struggle bus. I started off growing it in the cabinet. It was only about yay tall, and now look at it. These are some of its leaves that grew while it was in the cabinet, but these have all been grown outside. My hair on there, sorry. But look at those leaves. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh my goodness. And then this one. This one has a lot of white, so it's probably not going to last as long, but I've had it now for about 3 weeks, so pretty proud of that. And this one here looks like it's another herbescens, but I'm not again. I got this as a freebie from one of my Jacqueline Mickey Mouse hauls, so I'm not sure what this one is. So if you do know, comments. And then this is one of my Hoya Princess in a bowl of Pon and Leca, and she is just loving her life. And then my Mitzeliana, which the Frydek is the variegated version of the Mitzeliana. A lot of people get this confused with a Alocasia Frydek, but this is a Mitzeliana. That is the variegated version of it. She was doing so well. I put all the pieces together, and there are more corms in there, and that's what I'm left with, so we'll have to wait and see. Oh, this is my Silogeny that used to hang on the ceiling, and this is the pot that the Spring Pleasure used to sit in and fill in. But I decided I didn't like the way that she took up most of the corner space and hid a lot of the other plants. So I had her sitting on a table while I was rearranging to get the tree ready, and I liked it, so we repotted her in that, and she's doing much better because that has some moss mixed into it, heavy perlite to keep it damp longer. And as you can see, there are drainage holes so that when I do water, it flushes out, and she's not sitting in water. And my rubber tree plant here, it didn't do anything really for like almost 6 months. It started this leaf, and then this leaf just stalled. And so, you know, I was like, what's going on? And then I realized that the media it was in, it had been in there for about 4 years. So repotted it, put it in an aerial mixture, and the leaves are starting to firm back up. So I'm hoping that that fixes it. So even though you guys haven't seen a video from me for a few months, I have been busy doing a lot of repotting. Let's start on the wall right here. So this is, what is this? This is the regular Carnosa. If any of you saw my original or my last update or the original update on Hoya, you can tell she's a little smaller, but coming back. That one there is one of the latest leaves, and then you can see there's some new leaf growth going there. So I'm just going to set it down because I can just see me dropping it. This is a princess. It is starting to get dark outside, so let me hurry. And this princess looks a whole lot different than the one that's in pond. So I do eventually want to get them in the same pot. I think the two different colors is a nice variation. This one is my Monstera Peru that I do have on here, and I am wrapping it around. The leaves are starting to get, the leaves are starting to get a little bigger. I don't think I'm going to get this unless I move it into more light. I have lost that Phalaenopsis. That was my Mona, the one that one of our patients gave us. I'll be honest, I totally forgot it was up there until the other day, and I happened to look up, and I feel so bad because it was a gift. And she was not in bad shape when I got her, and I messed it up. I messed it up big time. And then over here, hey, over here is a piece of my Bella, Hoya Bella. Look, isn't she the cutest, y'all? Isn't she the cutest? It came with two. I haven't decided what put in the other one. However, it is in an aeroid mix, and this piece actually broke off of the original plant. When I repotted the original plant, I wasn't happy with the water retention of what I had it in. So it is doing fine. It's putting out a new vine, so loving that. This is the obtusifolia, the non-variegated. I've had this one for years, and it goes through spurts where it just takes off, and then other days it doesn't do anything. And then in my room, I do have a couple of phals, some ivy, nothing major in there. Look what I found. I found a sea blue. And she's in her original pot. I just stuck her in the hanging basket. Currently, she is kind of just here again. Had to find somewhere to put her for the moment, but eventually I have been doing some research, and I've read that if they are on a pole, then they will grow larger leaves and fenestrate. And I believe it's fern that has the wall-mounted ones, the moss poles that you can mount on the wall. I need to find where she gets those. I think that would be amazing right here. What do you think? Let me know. No ID Phalaenopsis, another Puplicalyx, and then my heartleaf Hoya that hasn't done anything since I got it. No new growth, no nothing. It's just surviving. And then down here is my ZZ plant that has this new growth finishing off. And then my Jades and Pearl. This is a slow grower, guys, as far as ivy go. This is slow. I mean, you can see the amount of light it gets. So let me know in the comments if you grow that and what is the best way to get her to grow a little faster. And let me move my scrubs. I have to return. They're too big. My Ring of Fire is working on, oh, she finally released her leaf. Let me get it off of there. There we go. Yeah, it was, and I am, let me know also, are you always tempted to go in and remove the brack to release your leaves, whether it be on philodendron, orchids? I have that temptation, and I used to mess with them, but I've messed up way too many leaves. I know better now. I don't touch things anymore. And look what we have on our Phalaenopsis Cleopatra, aka Yin Yang. It's the one with the beauty. Look at that. Oh, and I was going to remedia her because, as you can see, we have beautiful, well, maybe you can't. There we go. Beautiful root tips. And guess what? I noticed the spike. I said, nope, I will wait. I will wait. And then that one is the Summer Love, I believe. Doing much better. I do have the spider plant that I got from Ken over at the Orchid Supply Store. My Unicum, let's see if we can get a little closer there, is doing pretty decently. I don't even know if you can really see the color of it. There it is. Look how gorgeous she's doing. Doing well. Just doing well. No ID foul here. That this is the one that used to be in the smaller self-watering pot, the square one with all the roots hanging everywhere. A lot of those roots had active root tips, so I repotted all those roots into a larger self-watering pot. And she now has a that. Isn't that lovely? Hold on. Let me lower the blind. One sec. Sorry for the jiggle jangle, but I want to lower the blind so we can get some of the glare. And unfortunately, this is one of those that you can do it from the top or the bottom, and it looks like it's messed up now. Hold on. Oh, now I have to fix it. Look. It's all jinky janky up in there. Ew. Okay, I'll figure that out later. Then we'll just have to deal with the glare. Sorry, guys. I was trying. This is the Presidium White Knight that is finishing off this new growth. Recently also repotted. I put the, oh my goodness. How do I not remember the name of this? This is one of my ninja ninja orchids. I call this the Nina orchid because I bought it because I saw hers. The Mona Chica, Rhinanthera Mona Chica is over here closer to the window. And then Kingianum is just loving life all of a sudden, just shooting out all kinds of new growths. And I'm trying to remember to keep it nice and watered because I'm hoping come spring we might get some blooms. That would be great. I've had that one since 2019. It was a teeny tiny little plant. And then my, oh, hold on. Sorry for all the movement, but that does agitate me. My Fred Clark After Dark. Well, I don't know, y'all. Look at the growth this year. Looks kind of weird, doesn't it? But I still love it. Still love it. And this is my Nivium, Paphiopedilum from Louisiana Connection. And then look at the Dragon's Breath, Alocasia Dragon's Breath. Oh my goodness. Got a new leaf coming through here. And this is here to keep it from getting too out of control. And then there's my other little swing planter that, again, I just haven't decided what I want to put in her yet. But aren't they the cutest? They're so cute. Paphiopedilum Mel Star is still millibug free so far, knock on wood. I'm not sure what kind of Sansevieria this is, and I think Sansevieria have been reclassified as Dracania, but they'll always be Sansevieria to me. And I have a jewel orchid. This is the discolor. That, oh, okay. So this piece right here broke off. I walked by and hit it. It was sticking out, and I just stuck it back in the media, and that was like 4 days ago. And so far, fingers crossed, it's doing fine. It looks like it wants to, oh no, is that a leaf or a, I hope that's a leaf, because if that's a spike, it's going to kill it. And then my Wellfin, still, I don't see any new growth, but from what I understand, these also grow uber slow. Both of the Sansevieria are still in their original containers. And then one of our Twinkles is in bloom. I'm going to take it and show it to you out here away from the glare. Look how gorgeous. And they have the little vanilla smell, but they're beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? I will need to repot this one, probably come spring, because the bulbs are now reaching the outer pot. So haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not. And then this is a variegated Opticifolia mouthful. I do have another pot of 2 of these that eventually this one will go back in with. And then my raspberry, I know it's a Sherry Baby. I think it's the red raspberry, but I got this from Nicole Deanna over at Nicole's Orchids, I think is the name of her channel. But lots and lots of new growth, as you can see. And I was a little worried about this shelf here during the winter because we do go in and out the door, but so far everybody's doing fine. They're not getting too much damage. Let's go over here. That is my pride and joy, guys. So this one is the Philodendron Fuzzy Petiole, and it is the Fuzzy Petiole because of the fuzzy petiole. But look, we already have a new leaf. This one, she's been opening for the last week. Look at the size of that thing. This was what she grew last, and now look at this one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love the bright green when they're first growing in. She's gorgeous. And then there's another one of the Bird of Paradise that's going to, like I said, either go to my friend or the office. My Obovata, Hoya Obovata, is finally really taking off on its own. It's grown several leaves in the last few months. And then I do have another Monstera Peru down here. She's just kind of loving her life under there. I think I'm going to turn her where she just kind of fills in this whole spot. However, haven't fully decided yet. And as you can see, I have potting stuff under there too. And my Roy Taganaga from Orchid Supply Store, one of our ICPUs, intensive care plant units. This new growth is coming along, and I am going to have to definitely get it off of this mount as soon as I see the roots, and I think I can probably do it because those roots are nice and healthy. I missed the window last time. And then we have the 3 Phalaenopsis soft clouds on the mount, one of which is producing us, if I can get in focus, a spike. I will have to remoss this one too, or maybe just add a little moss. I haven't decided if I'm going to remoss or add moss. My Vanda Patra, is it Patra? Here, let me see if I can zoom in. This one right here is one that I bought from Ken before he even became a sponsor of the channel. And since I've been watering it regularly, it's actually growing rather well. I did move the Hippodomia over here. And my lipstick plant here looks a little sad because it is pouting. I recently repotted it into this pot here, which is a self-watering pot. It was in the nursery hanging pot for the longest, and it's just going to make it easier for me to water if I keep it in the self-watering. So it's pouting a little bit. And then my porpox, I think. Is this a porpox? Yeah. At least it was sold as a porpox. Doing pretty good. Got lots of beautiful roots coming in. They were watered yesterday. I've been watering them about every 2 or 3 days. And then this is the Little Stars, Nodosa Little Stars, lots of new growth still on it. My Oncidium Celtic Sun has been repotted and looks like it probably could do with a little water. The roots were just starting to come in, so I didn't want to overwhelm it. Sherry Baby back here. Probably going to have to put it in a bigger pot because, as you can see, this new growth coming over the edge. We have new growth here, right back in here, so it's doing just fine. And this is the Bird of Paradise I'm keeping. This is the one with the 2 pieces in it. Look at the size of the leaf coming up. This is going to be a monster in no time. And again, in a self-watering pot, I'm just looking to see if I see any roots on the outside because the other ones I could see the roots. I repotted the No ID philodendron from Ken also. This is the one that had the pink flowers. It got repotted into a bigger pot as well. And my heartleaf variegated Hoya, again, has grown 1 leaf since it's been in my care. I'm just going to let her do her. I also repotted the Orange Kiss. Lots of new growths here. So should be getting some blooms off of the previous growth. Knock on wood, she keeps her pattern. The white dendrobium did not bloom this year, but I did repot as well. And then look at my crystallinum. Look at this. This is what I got the 5-pack for. So it was allocation philodendron, but look at this. Oh my goodness. This was from shipping because this happened shortly after she came in, and I think it was just because it got punched around a little bit, but initially these spots were not here. Now, if it is something else, those of you again who are more experienced, let me know, but oh my goodness, look at the size of that leaf. Love that. And it does have a new growth point right here coming up, and it looks like we might even get something here and here. Have to wait and see. Schilleriana that I got from Norman's is doing well. Also repotted it into seedling bark and just moss at the bottom to keep the bark from falling out, and she's doing much better. Look at all those root tips in there. Much better than she was when I had her in bark and moss. And then we've got the Spicerianum that is working on this new growth here. She is once again in a, oh my goodness, a terrestrial mix. She's not in regular orchid mix. Now with these guys, I'm going to show you the best I can through the glass, and next time we'll open everything up. But we have a recovery plant over here, Cattleya, and then back there is another ICPU. We've got the Fritz Nicholas with the yellow tag, and then my Leonis is doing really well in there. And I did move the bulbophyllum into this long tray. It's a combination of medium, large Orchiata bark and moss to keep it kind of damp. And this growth on the end, that is its latest growth that it grew in the bag. As you can see, it's 60% humidity in there right now. I don't have any humidifiers in there at the moment. And I think it's just evaporation from the pots themselves. And I see a big friend on a plant. I'll show you in a minute. This is my Leopoldii seedling. It's one of our Curl Smiths. And Curl Smith, and this one here is the one I got from the Orchid Supply, the Orchid Show here last year. And then down here, because I don't want to really move the lights too much, because then we're not going to be able to see them at all. Let me see if I can reposition them a little bit and see. There we go. There we go. Look at my falcata. Look at that thing. Oh my goodness. Just lovely. And then my pink profusion, these are still the spikes from last year that are reblooming. My Tolumnia is looking a little worse for wear, but still doing fine. That's a Bellina. And then that's a piece of the Cattleya schilleriana that I decided to put by itself because I didn't realize it had dropped on the floor when I repotted the other one. There's another piece of the Nivium, a philodendron that I think might be the White Knight. I'm not 100% sure. No ID Phalaenopsis, a piece of my Fred Clark, and then I think I'm going to have to replace Pink Girl. Jiho's Pink Girl, she's just not recovering, but let me show you. Do you see it? Look at there. Just chilling. Just sitting out there chilling. And that's one of my ICPUs. That back there is a corm of, I believe it's the Mitzliana. And then this one I believe is, I think that's a Jacqueline. Not 100%. Look at the size of the leaf on my Psychopsis. Isn't that gorgeous? That is huge. Huge, huge, huge. And then these four right here are all ICPU orchids as well. All right, guys, I'm going to stop it here and we will do a part 2 because 1, I'm out of breath. 2, it's starting to get a little dark and I don't want too much of a glare from the dusk. And 3, I don't know if I'm a 3 or 4, but also I don't want this to be too long. So part 2 coming up. Hope you guys have a great day. I will tag both of them in each video, just so if you're watching in the future, you can just go down and click, okay? Hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll see you next time.